curlies? It's your girl Kiki, and if you are new here, I do all things curly hair tips, product reviews and styling. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the topic of curly haircuts ruining your natural hair and discussing a few experiences that I've seen floating around online recently about this topic and my personal experience, because if you've been following my channel, you'll know I have had 2 curly haircuts in the past by 2 different stylists, and I do generally normally get my hair cut when it is straight. So let's get into the video. So I'm just going to start by talking about my experience really quickly so you get a little bit of a background as to where I'm coming from with some of this information I'm going to tell you during the video. I have been getting my hair cut on straight hair for the past probably about 10 years. I've always had my hair done on blown out hair. Never had any issues with getting it done this way until I ran into a time when my hair got a little bit longer and I wanted a little bit more shape in it. So I then looked to get my hair cut by a curly haired stylist. The first salon I visited was the Curl Bar London, and I left the salon having had this service feeling a little bit underwhelmed and disappointed, to tell you the truth. The experience, she cut my hair on just a dry cut. I was charged about £70 for that, and I feel like, oh my god, the flies. I feel like she only took a really small bit of my hair. It was literally just for the shape. It didn't take away any of the split ends, and I kind of felt like it was overpriced for what she did. So that was the first cut I had. Following that visit, I then went to my normal hairdresser, and this was a couple of months later, and when she blew it out, the lengths were just totally different. It was really, really atrocious. From that experience, I said to myself I was never going to get a curly haircut again because I just did not have a good experience. I left with split ends and my hair was uneven, so I was like, never doing that again. And then a couple of years later, I ran into the same problem. My straight haircuts were serving me in terms of help and getting rid of my split ends, but they weren't providing me with the shape that I was looking for. So then I decided again to visit another curly hair stylist, and this time I want to say the experience was much better. I had a lot more trust in the stylist because she had a lot of experience with cutting curls and shaping curls, etc. She really did get me the shape that I was looking for. And then again, when I went to my normal stylist, when she did my proper trim, I had uneven length. And this is the issue that I'm currently facing, still battling with at the minute, with the fact that curly haircuts give me a better shape, but then straight haircuts really target the split ends and the length. And just knowing that my hair is obviously all one length is really comforting to know that it's not just uneven. So at the moment, I'm currently still getting straight haircuts. I have no desire to go and get a curly haircut just yet because I had one not too long ago, probably November last year was when I had my last haircut, and I'm happy with the shape it is now. I'm not too fussed about it. So let's talk about some of the topics and the issues that have been arising online and recently about curly haircuts. So if you are not aware, there is a company called Black Girls Curls, and this company have received a lot of backlash recently for the way they have been cutting and shaping their clients' hair. A lot of the clients have been complaining about like their ends being really uneven, have a lot of damage on the ends, and the fact that the split ends are not targeted during the service. These are all things that I can really resonate with, because when I've had cuts in the past, it has been the same thing. Like the curls, you leave with a good shape and you know, it's really targeted the overall shape of your hair, but the health of the hair is not a forefront of the cut. And I'm not really sure why, but some of the issues that I can gather from what I've read from different people's experiences is that when you're cutting, you know, curly hair, you are obviously looking for the shape. And when you're targeting shape, you're not necessarily going to target all of the hair on the head, because there might be, for example, on me, this curl that needs to go, so we could chop this off, but then I could do a wash and go, comb my hair, and the next time that curl might not even be there. That might just be like formed into the other curls. Every time we wash and shampoo and like do a wash and go with our hair, the curls are never exactly the same. The curl clumps are never the same every single time. And this is a part of the issue, is that when we do our hair differently every time, the curls then need targeting again because there's another hair out of place. That is one factor that is cropping up. The second thing that is happening is that the split ends are not being targeted. And when I've gone to get my hair done curly, they've not targeted the split end. And I find it hard to believe that unless you are literally pulling the hair and you're looking at it from the perspective of it's blown out and I can see what needs to be cut off, I find it hard to understand how you can target all of the split ends and you know what needs to come off. Because unless it's all kind of straight, how do we know what's thinner and what's thicker and how much we need to take off? So realistically, from my experience, that's what I've seen and that's what I've experienced, that not all of the split ends have gone, and it's still an ongoing issue where I need to then revisit a salon for them to blow it out and do it on a straight. Even though, yeah, we wear our hair curly 90% of the time, that's fine, but what good is it if the ends are still damaged? Like, it's really no good. This fly is actually driving me up the wall. I hate flies. So on the back of that, the fact that, you know, we wear our hair curly the majority of the time, which is all well and good, but we can't be having straggly hair, we can't be having thin ends, we can't be having split ends, and I feel like you only really get a good perception of your hair when it is blown out. Oh my god, this fly is driving me insane. Going forward, in terms of me, I'm definitely keeping my normal stylist. I'm getting it done on blown out hair or a silk press, and if I want to address the shape, I will, in the first instant, ask my stylist for layers, which she has done already. And if it's still not working, then in between my normal regular visits to my normal stylist, I will go and see my last curly hair specialist, not the Curl Bar London, because that just didn't work for me at all. Hair by Trina, who did my hair the last time I got it cut, because it was really nice. If there's anything to take away from this video, I would just suggest that if you are someone who does get their hair cut curly on a regular basis, you do blow it out and just get a professional opinion on what your hair, like what the state of your hair is in when it's blown out, because perceptions can change. And I feel like curly hair does a really good job of masking damage. You will not notice it until it's blown out, and you will not notice the unevenness until it's blown out. Unevenness is not so much of a massive thing if you're more concerned about the shape of your hair and how it sits when it's in its natural state, but definitely the damage needs to be addressed in terms of like the straggly ends and split ends like that. Hopefully we can find a way to really regulate the standard on curly haircuts, because I still feel like it's a bit of a open to interpretation kind of thing where it's not regulated and standards are set in place for this type of haircut. So hopefully that's something that in the future stylists will look to get sorted, so we don't have another repeat performance of what's going on right now. If you have experiences with curly haircuts, drop it down in the comments. I would love to hear what everyone's take on this topic is. And if you are interested in seeing the 2 experiences that I had, I will put them on the end screen for you to look at, and I will see you in the next one.